What's good, people? It's your boy Rhino. Welcome to MGTV. If this is your first time watching, please subscribe and please put post notifications on and make sure you like the video. Listen, this is Let's Talk United, and we're going to talk about Manchester United and this myth about the style of play and Eric Ten Hag is a fraud and we thought he was going to come in and do this and do that and what are we seeing from him and maybe this job's not for him and whatever. And this is after 3 days, people. And what I don't like is the inconsistencies of football. When it's not your team, you're heavily over analyzing and you're criticizing. Cool, fair enough, but do the same for your own. I was watching, what channel was I watching? I think it was Football Terrace, and big up the panel as well. And I saw this whole debate between Chelsea and Man United and Arsenal. And one of the Chelsea guys was basically saying that Ten Hag's got question marks with his man management and how we're not seeing no style and all of this stuff. But if you're going to say that for our team, and now you've got a top coach, yeah, and you've spent all that money, you need to have the same chest. Okay, cool. In Chelsea's defense, it's their first year and they still need to gel. But I want to see that same standard. And I feel like as a Chelsea fan, you're gonna say, oh, but you know what, it's only 3 games and Poch hasn't settled in yet. But it can be the same for a team that's in their second year as well. Things still need to click in place, especially depending on how messy the club was. Like Manchester United, a lot of people forget everything that Ten Hag has had to overcome, as well as on the pitch. Poch don't have to worry about a Ronaldo interview or the owner's not backing him. Poch don't have to worry about that. And I think when you're talking about Manchester United, please respect that. Okay, cool. If you want to take away the cup and say that we came third in a poor Premier League season, come on, like what does a man have to do to win it? Does he have to win the league then? He's done what he needs to do. Whether we had a bad away record or whatever, he's done what he's needed to do. And he had to deal with a Ronaldo saga. And he has to deal with our owners overplaying for players. He has to deal with the fact we don't have a defense director of football as well. But he's still got us to third. And you can still see the patterns here and there. It's just not consistent. That's the fact of it. Eric Ten Hag does have a style of play. It's just not consistent and hasn't gelled in with the Man United team. And I'm so happy that there's an interview now and I can get some direct quotes. And now you can look at these quotes and tell me if he knows what he's doing. He's confident. So let me bring that up. First and foremost, look at this. United are the team who have regained possession the most times in the final third of the pitch this season. 29. They're top in the last 3 games, 29. Chelsea are second with 20. Everton are joint second with 20. Brighton 19. Tottenham 18. And what an interesting selection of teams here, because everyone talks about the Zerbi and waxes lyrical about him. His team Brighton are there. Everyone's talking about how Poch started with Tottenham and he's doing a great job. Tottenham are there. Not Poch, sorry. Everyone's talking about Postecoglou and saying how he's doing such a great job with Tottenham. Tottenham are there. Poch and Chelsea, we're starting to see little bits and pieces. Chelsea are there. But we are top. So if we was to make use of this statistic and take our chances, we would have won all our games surely. But there's definitely an issue with how the players have started the season. But this alone shows there's a style. This is not a fluke. This is not happening by accident. This is happening because of how Ten Hag has set out. He's doing the Mount and the Bruno thing. overloading the final third, you know, overlapping wingers, inverting wingers as well. They do both. We've got our defenders holding up the halfway line, and we're pouncing on you to make a mistake. That's a style. That's how Manchester United play. If you catch us on the break, we are expecting to have a good recovery pace and defend. That is a style. That is an attribute of one of the styles Ten Hag wants to play. Yeah? Cool. And then it's the same the other way around. On the defense now, when the teams are pressing, we set pressing traps. We set ourselves up in a way that once you draw out one player, we hope that we can cut his passing lane and boom, you know, the basics. But there's different ways Ten Hag does it. But the way we're set up defensively is we're set up to try and catch you out, basically. Whether it's pressing traps, whether it's pushing certain players a certain direction and then boom, catching someone lacking or whatever. Whether it's, you know what, let's play a quick long ball from Onana straight to Rashford. There's certain repeated things that you're seeing with Manchester United, with the long balls, with the quick transition play. And transition is just not counter-attack football, people. It's not literally just sit on the back foot and catch them on a break. Transition football can happen in different dynamics of football, whether it's on the back foot. Transition could happen on the front foot, you know, and it can also happen on the counter attack as well. But counter attack is normally defending from the back and then switching it on the team and then attacking and going for the attack, catching them while all their players are halfway up the pitch or while all their players are up their final third, and we just catch them on a break while they're basically lacking. Yeah, but let me go to another quote that he said. We've recovered a lot of balls very high up the field. It's a part of the game that we know well. In transition, we can do better because when you have that many high recoveries, you have to take advantage of. So, yeah. Then on the midfield, it was a collective problem. We analysed and showed the team where the problem was. Not all the players lived up to what they were. We've been working on that a lot over the last 2 weeks. I said this on the Mandem Talk. I said this on Trafford Tunnel. Big up Ty. Big up Side for the Mandem Talk and big up all the other Mandem. I said this on Flawless's channel, Sarcasm City. Ten Hag has set the players to do something, but they're not all doing it yet. And that's why I think even people like Mount hasn't settled in yet. Mount's meant to be a box-to-box. So as much as we've got high-pressing eights, I think they're meant to be tracking back and doing work with Casemiro and not leaving him by himself. Casemiro's not meant to be a lone six. We're meant to give him support. And if the two eights are up there, we need our left-back to come and sit with Casemiro. If he's overlapping, we need maybe Wan-Bissaka to come with him, or maybe if Wan-Bissaka's up, we need another one of our midfielders to swap round and come and support him so that if anything happens, we're good. So if we are on the front foot and we're attacking, and then there's all of a sudden a turnover, certain players have to be coming back or at least keep themselves in certain positions so that when we're about to get caught in a counter-attack, we've got sufficient people there and it's not just Casemiro. You know what I'm saying? So he said here, a collective problem. Not all the players have lived up to what they were. Like they're not doing what I've instructed them to do yet, which might take a while. How quickly can players pick up my rules? It's not easy. The reason why I bring in former players, yes, but every situation is different. I wasn't playing the same way at Utrecht as I was at Ajax. And I don't play the same way at Manchester United as at Ajax. What is the identity of the club? What is the quality of the players? And then you bring your own ideas and it's a mix. That's when he's talking about total football. He wants to dominate, but he wants to be fluid and dynamic. You can't see that we're going to play. You know our certain traits of what we do, but you don't know which one we're going to do and when. And we should be able to adjust depending on how the game's going and depending on what team we're playing. Then he says, let me see if I didn't miss that one. Okay, cool. Then he says, why is pressing important to me? To keep control of a match, to dominate an opponent. The pressing must be good. It is not always necessary to be high on the pitch. There is moments when you can be lower, very low. Our team has the ability to be a threat too. But in my approach, I always want to be able to give something to the fans. We want to dominate our opponents. We want to play proactive, dynamic football. Pressing is part of that. Possession also has to be good. And that's what I'm saying to you people. All of this is his philosophies. And if you look at our overall season last season, you saw a lot of these things. And he's saying that just because we're high up the pitch, we don't have to always be pressing up the pitch. We could be doing it down when we're low as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's basically saying you can dominate while you're high, you can dominate while you're low. It just depends on how the team is set up, defensively and offensively. Offensively, our players need to be covering pockets. That's one thing that our players are not doing. They're not, and I think I said this with Bath Time and Jamie on one of my shows last season. We need to be creating triangles. When Anthony's on the ball, we need to see Bruno in the half space. We need to see Rashford. Everyone needs to be in the direction of the football. When we're on the other side, and let's say Garnacho's got the ball, Shaw or someone needs to be overlapping. Someone needs to be inverted. There needs to be options so that when Garnacho's got the ball, he can either go for a shot, he can slip a through ball, or he can make a simple pass. Every time a person's got the ball, there needs to be at least two options next to him. And that's one thing that the players are not keeping consistent with. So as much as we want to play possession, sometimes he wants to switch it up. Not everything's going to be exactly the same like he said. He said it's a mix. Cool. And I think there's one more comment here, two more. We have to improve, especially against Arsenal, who have a high quality team. When you are not well organized, you have problems. We have to avoid these problems by doing the right thing. We have to be more demanding. The players just need to do the basics. I remember well the start of my second season in Utrecht was difficult. Part of that was due to the loss of many players. You have to integrate the new players. It was the same at the Ajax when we lost De Ligt and Frankie de Jong. It wasn't easy. Every season is tough at the start. In the meantime, it's all about getting points. You have to get points at the start, and from there you gain confidence. Then you see that it is better and more fluid when you are further along the process. Everything, I think he's answered all their questions. Yes, you might say, okay, but you've got certain quality players at United and whatever. There's still not all these players, and they're still learning. They've had years of Louis van Gaal, Mourinho, a little bit of Ranić, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They've had years of these other coaches. And it's time for Ten Hag to now implement his system and hopefully get a kick out of these players. And then eventually maybe we might even only see maybe like 20%, 50% of the old players from 22-23 season left. Wan-Bissaka might not be someone that he wants in the long term, but maybe someone that can convert to. Rashford might be gone one day. If these players can't do the basics and they can't follow the rules, then, you know, eventually they're going to be gone. So what I'm saying to rivals is that I understand you're expecting to see it quicker, and you are expecting to kind of at least see it consistently. But Ten Hag has shown you why it's not that easy. On top of the other stuff he's had to deal with as well. Please, man, don't forget how bad you guys are rating Manchester United. Don't forget how low you put us in the table after we got our players in. After we got all the Casemiros and everything, everyone thought we're still coming 6th, 7th. Even I did. No one, it's not my fault Chelsea and Liverpool dropped off. Do you know what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful of how we say stuff. Look at this season, how it started so far. When we lost to Brentford and Brighton last season, no one said it's the start of the season allowed them. Now, all of a sudden, it's only 3 games. When we lost, did anyone tell us it's only 2 games? Allow Man United. People were saying Ten Hag's not going to last. People are saying we're going to be in the second half of the table. So which one is it? It's only 2 games, or okay, we still need to see something in 2 games. Which one? Because like I said, when we lost to Brighton and Brentford, no one said it's only 2 games. People were laughing. People were saying Ten Hag, he came third. Then now they say, oh, but the season was easy. Okay. So that means the season was easy for Arsenal then. Yes, they played well, very good football, but they weren't challenged because the season was easy. There needs to be some sort of context to when people make these kind of like these when people analyze stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is that let's give it time. Yes, we don't rate Mount as a signing, but let's see what Mount's going to do. Let's see if Ten Hag's philosophy builds. He's also said that in second halves of second seasons, they're not easy. He's had experience of this. He's done this with a few teams. So let's wait and see. But let's not start capping and saying, oh, United have no style. This Ten Hag's a fraud after 2-3 games. But then when I judge you guys after 2-3 games, it's not the same. You know, there needs to be double standards, man. And I understand there's certain times Ten Hag has done bad decision making. Yes. There's certain times Ten Hag's done a bad starting lineup. Yes. But let's not forget the times he's done a good starting lineup. Let's not forget the times that he had the most subs that have come off the bench score a goal. I think he was top of that. So we forget all these good decision making and just remember the bad. These good managers are all going to have bad times. All the top managers all have bad times. You don't hold them to it if they do well majority of the time. And I don't even want to go on and on about it, but read the quotes. Tell me what you guys think. I think Ten Hag has addressed all the comments, all the pressing questions that especially rivals have. And he's answered some of my thoughts, questions I've had in my mind when I'm thinking, you know what? I know there's more to United, and I know Ten Hag sees the game differently. This gives us an insight of how he sees the game and his plans and his philosophy. Because just because we see it one way, yes, we have eyes, but coaches and that have special vision. And I think Ten Hag is definitely the right man for the job at the moment. Until I see a lot more negatives, I'm not going to think otherwise. He done a lot first season, second season. Let's see how it goes. But at least we have some answers now with how he thinks and what he what he thinks the problem is, and in opposed to us just guessing, you know. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Please like the video, please subscribe, put post notifications on, and as always, tell a friend to tell a friend. It's your boy Rhino, and I'm out. Peace.
Hey, I swear firms and rents pattern this.